In this tutorial in Microsoft Excel, I'd like to show you how to use formulas to compare the contents of two cells when the cells contain text rather than numbers. In the blue chart you see on the screen, I have different states and different sales figures. We're going to look at the formulas in the lower table with the yellow bar at the top. First, I'll click on cell C11, and cell C11 asks the question, does cell B3 equal B4? The formula there contains two equal signs. Now that may sound odd to you, but the first equal sign simply says this is a formula. And the formula asks the question, B3 equal B4? And the answer in this case is true because, as you see in the notes, this formula ignores the case. So if case doesn't matter, B3 equal B4 is one that will be the formula you'd want to use. So what if case does matter? Well, that's what cell C12 illustrates. This is where you use the word exact. Again, the word equal is the first character in the formula to tell Excel it's a formula. Exact, and then B3 comma B4. So it says, do they match exactly, including case? And in this instance, you notice it correctly gives you the answer of no, they don't match, so it's false. Now let's go to the cell below it. B4, B5. Now when you look on the table, it looks like both of them would match because we have Nevada, uppercase. Why don't they match? Here's a gotcha you have to be careful of. Cell B5 has a trailing space. There is a space after the A in Nevada. And the way you can verify that is I have another command which gives me the length, the number of characters in a cell. And if I do len B4, that says there are 6 characters. len B5 says there are 7 characters because it includes a space. I would go back up into the cell and move up into my formula bar, and I click at the end. You notice my cursor is not right against the A. There is a space here. There's a way around it without editing the cell if you want to, and let me show you what that is. This is called the trim command. So the value in cell C15 or 16 is trim cell B5. Notice what trim does in the notes. Trim removes all the leading and trailing spaces. And any internal spaces between the front end and the back end that are multiple, it reduces to 1 space. In other words, if I had a sentence with 3 spaces between 2 words and 3 spaces between 2 words and 1 space after the last word, the spaces in the middle would all be reduced to a single space. No doubles, no triples, nothing like that. So the way in which to compare the two cells for B4 and B5 without adjusting the content would be what I do in cell C17. I use the two commands together, both exact and trim. So the formula is exact of the trim of B4 is that identical to the exact of the trim of B5. In other words, whether either cell has a leading space or a following space, when you compare them after stripping that out, do they match? And the answer there is true. So that's one way in which you can use some formulas to compare the contents of text cells.